So the first type of category you will see in my game design is called game points. Right now, this is part of the assignments categories of the grade book, which is supposed to come up to about 30% of the overall grade the students earn in the class. Now, you will see a special category called game points, and that category is just a place where I list the assignments where that students completed. As the students go through the class, they're assigned specific work that they need to do. And they can also choose to do alternative work or additional work to earn points as well. These are the things that they do in the process of learning, and it reflects their efforts to try to actually master the material. As the year progresses, they do more and more work, and so they earn more and more points. Now, these are actually weighted with a weight of 0. They're just there to track what they have done. But it's the total number of points that's earned that way gets converted to what's called game levels. And those are the ones that actually count on the assignment category to make up that 30% of their grade. As the year progresses, more and more points are required of them. For example, I may require a level for every 150 points of assigned work. Now, a level is worth about 100 points. So that means that the students actually only need to do 2/3 of the assigned work in order to get 100% of the required levels. Meaning that if they actually do all of the work, they actually get ahead on levels. And if they do additional work, even more. The more levels that a student has, the more their grade is based on that instead of the assessments. Now, I am supposed to make a grade about 30% assignments, but if you do more work, you kind of build for yourself a curve on your assessments category. I would think of it that way. So, in fact, uh, it is easy to get extra levels because all you have to do is do all the required work because you're going to do 100% of the points when I only require 2/3 of them, right? So this is actually the way to do this. This also helps create a competitive atmosphere where students try to get to higher levels, and sometimes I'll even make teams and motivate students to do so doing that way. But what you do is also it's all about individual effort at the end of the day. Teams is just supposed to be a motivating bonus. And remember, it's possible also to get extra points by doing additional work that's not required in class. Now, because of this, and this is the reason I actually put a weight of 0 on the assignments, you can actually do different things to get the same amount of points. And so it doesn't necessarily matter that you missed one assignment, so long as you do something else to replace it that is worth the same amount of points. Now, sometimes the stuff that I assign specifically is worth more for the same amount of effort than something additional. This is supposed to incentivize students to not uh, fail to do the assignments that I actually assigned to them. But if they discuss it with me, we can always have alternatives, right? And sometimes I might also give less points for an assignment that is turned in late, but usually I won't take it because I will just say you can take other things for the same amount of points instead. So as the year goes by, students get more and more levels are required of them. When a student is behind levels, you will get only a fraction of the value of the level that you're missing for the first which are missing, and then after you miss a bunch, you get no value for those levels. You get the minimal on the scale that is used, and that actually ends up hurting your grade instead of helping you. So the first few levels, I give a fraction of the credit, and then after a few levels, I give you no credit for that, or the minimal amount of credit that I'm allowed to give. So that means the more you fall behind, the less work you do, the more it actually hurts your grade. But as you will see when we talk about the assessments category, I also have situations where if a student does really well on the assessments, I might actually give them a fraction of the points of the levels that they're missing. So that means as long as they do well on the tests and quizzes, it doesn't necessarily matter that they haven't done the work. However, students that typically do more work tend to do better on the assessments, and if they do extra work or even just all the required work, they get bonus levels, and then even if they do bad on the assessments, they can still do well in the class. So at the end of the day, the goal is what a student should do. Work hard to do all the work that they need to do, or as much work as possible, so that they can do better in the class. And that's reflected on this category called game levels, which comes out to about 30% of their overall grade. On the next video, I'll talk about villains. I'll see you guys then.